children cry, all hail to thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening. Please be seated. Thank you, William and Mary Choir, for starting our ceremony off on such a high note. New and returning students, faculty, staff, honored guests, 3 times the charm. We have waited a long time for this moment to be together in person as a community. To our newest students, welcome. To everyone returning, welcome back. Convocation is a bit different this year. This is among the most beautiful convocations William and Mary has seen. I think evening might really be the thing. What do you think? There are a lot more of us walking through the Wren. Nearly 4,000 new students from spring 2020 and fall 2020, from spring 21 and fall 21. So let's just see who is here, just to be sure. Spring 2020 and fall 2020? All right. All right, that sounds rowdy. That's what I was hoping for. Let's see, spring 21 and fall 21? Woo! Yeah, well, so this crowd is going to give us extra fist bumps, extra cheering, extra elbow bumps, all of which we know we can do safely. We are thrilled to be here with you. We are joined by Rector John Littell and members of the Board of Visitors. Would you please stand up, and the public officials that are here as well, and be recognized? Thank you. As we come together in fellowship, we remember the resilience and the perseverance of all who came before us. So in that spirit, please join me in acknowledging and paying respect to the indigenous peoples who are the original inhabitants of the land we are on today, the Cherokee, Chickahominy, Eastern Chickahominy, Mattaponi, Monacan, Nansemond, Nottoway, Pamunkey, Patawomack, Upper Mattaponi, and Rappahannock tribes, and pay our respect to their tribal members, past and present. Thank you. This year will be different from any other in William and Mary's long history. In many ways, we are all arriving new. The past year and a half have changed us all, and we are all still changing. Our Chief Operating Officer, Amy Sebring, reminds us that we are in the same rhythms that we've been in for 3 semesters, and that we're going to continue to make adjustments. Those adaptations look different now because our tools and our knowledge are different. And we're seeing students create community in the face of new challenges, as we have done always. That is a centuries-old tradition at William and Mary. The decisions that we make affect all those around us, so we're building a culture of mutual support. We call each other in rather than calling each other out. Students across campus have been coming forward when they feel not too well, very candidly and directly. That's different from other campuses. Thank you. Earlier this week, I spoke with Dr. Wells, Athletics Chief Medical Officer and a member of our Public Health Advisory team. She's very quotable. You know this if you know her. She shared how student athletes are immediately reporting their symptoms to our sports medicine staff so they can be tested. And she said, that's being good citizens. Responsible actions like that by students allow us to quickly mitigate spread and to stay together as we want to in person. So just take a moment. If you have a friend who's not feeling well and seeks treatment, give them the respect they're due for that self-awareness, because that is a benefit to this whole community. We know that new changes can be discomforting at times, exhilarating at other times, and either way, they take effort. But tolerating the discomfort of uncertainty, doing that together, allows us to create new ways of living and learning and working together, like, for example, evening convocation, maybe even commencement. I don't know if there's anybody here who'd be interested in that, but maybe on the other side there might be. William and Mary people have grit. Oh, I heard that just a little bit. I heard a peep of that. We do. We have grit, a wonderful old-fashioned word. We're a community that embraces change, that advances what we value most. We're here today because of you and your commitment to do just that. This academic year is also a centennial at William and Mary. We commemorate 100 years of Asian and Asian American education here. Those pioneers for 100 years have blazed wider paths to learning at William & Mary, and we're going to hear a lot about their stories. And as is typical at William & Mary, this history was initiated and pursued with undergraduate and graduate student researchers, so I want to give you one incredibly cool example. Many of you know now Arthur Matsu's name. In April, William & Mary named the Zabel Stadium Arcade in his honor. He was the first, as far as we know, Asian or Asian American student here in residence. Last month, Governor Northam announced that the Commonwealth is going to install an historic marker on the highway honoring Matsu. His name was put forward by an elementary school class in Virginia, not by us. So when we discover the stories that we should be telling, they spread, and they become permanent parts of who we are. That started with an undergraduate senior essay. So that curiosity that leads to stretching boundaries is William & Mary's superpower in this year of transition. You have the best teammates, friends, teachers, and colleagues, and they're there to explore these changes with you and understand what they mean for us and for the future. Last thing I'll say is this is also, in a sense, my senior year. The class of 2022 is my first full class, and I just want to share with those of you who are coming in new or came in new last year what someone in that freshman class said to me to introduce me to William & Mary. A freshman call seminar shared this slogan: join the tradition, make history. Yeah. You join a rich tradition set by countless William & Mary people, pioneers. This university is yours. You belong here. Let's make history in this historic year together. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce William & Mary's Chief Academic Officer, Provost Peggy Agouris.
Good evening. As President Rowe just mentioned, and as you'll hear from many others tonight, let me start by saying, finally. What a pleasure it is to see you all in person, especially this beautiful evening and especially during this academic year. To our newest students, as our university's Chief Academic Officer, I am honored to be representing our faculty and delighted to be welcoming you to William and Mary on their behalf. To our returning students, welcome back and thank you. Thank you for being such caring members of our university community. You are role models for sure to our new students and to our community, beginning with how you lived up to this past year's Healthy Together commitment and finished the academic year strong. To our faculty, I have mentioned numerous times how impressed I am beyond measure with how our faculty adapted during this tough year, demonstrating your commitment as well. Your dedication to our students and their learning, as well as advancing your own scholarly work during a pandemic year, has been admirable. Tonight, we have the pleasure, the very honor, of celebrating the beginning of a new academic year. This opening convocation is a highlight of our time together, a tradition to be cherished. Before we proceed with the more fun parts of the evening, I want to ask you to pause first and look around just for a moment to inhale and to exhale, to take in the impressive group of bold, bright, and creative people that are gathered here this evening. Consider what it took just to reach this point, the hard work, the sacrifice, the hours devoted to learning and teaching and research and helping others to succeed. Every day, I find inspiration in our community of students, staff members, and faculty. And I cannot wait to see what you will accomplish this coming year. Allow me for a second to go back to our new students and offer some advice, especially to those living and learning for the first time on your own. I can hear the eyes rolling. I know, I'm a mother of a teenager, so the word advice alone, the mere mention, incites a reaction. But I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna offer it anyway. Almost overnight, your lives have changed. You're truly adults now, launching your own academic journey, making your own decisions. Just as your family members who have been responsible for your care are learning to let go, you will get to experience the highs and lows of adulthood and independence. Take good care of yourself, embracing the responsibilities as well as the freedoms. Stay open to all the possibilities you can find at William and Mary, and there are many, and relish the power of the ampersand that we so love. Take some risks with your learning and look out for all the intersections, as they will lead you to areas of study and research you never knew could exist. I'm confident that during your time here, you will change lives, including your own. And always keep in mind that the great challenges that our world is facing really need you and your bright and open minds, now possibly more than ever. This year again, we will all make our way forward like the William and Mary community has done every year for the past 328 years, staying true to a foundation of high academic standards. You will hear the word excellence quite a bit on our campus, a William and Mary value that never grows old. You will see it in action, including in yourselves. After all, you made it here in the first place, as William and Mary students, as scholars. We will go forward with a commitment to a rich history of democracy in service to the greater good and to the facts, which are the foundation of making progress as we engage in learning and research. President Rowe just noted that we commit to taking a stance of curiosity as scholars and global citizens. and I truly believe we'll begin this year with newfound appreciation for the very chance to do so. To our newest members of the William and Mary community, undergraduates in the class of 2025, new transfer students, graduate students, our newest members of the faculty, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, Provost Agouris. I now invite Suha Sudala, President of the Class of 2022, and Vicki Height, President of the Class of 2024, to join me at the podium for a very special announcement. Mr. President, Madam President.
Whew. Graduate students, transfers, and freshmen, welcome. Each year, the sophomore, junior, and senior classes welcome first-year students by presenting them with a class banner. This year, we present two banners, one for the class of 2024 and one for the class of 2025. For those of you who are transfers and graduate students, your banners are already hanging in the Sadler Center. Connor Sokolowski, the president of the junior class, is above me on the balcony to help present the class of 2024 and 2025 banners. Now we clap. We hope that these banners will be a symbol of unity and belonging for your class throughout your years here together and in the years that follow, as you, like all classes before you, become alumni of William and Mary. This banner will remain here for a week, after which it will be moved to the Sadler Center, where it will hang until your commencement. President Height, as the president of Class of 2024, we ask that you accept this banner on behalf of your class.
On behalf of the Class of 2024, I am pleased to accept this banner. Mr. President, would you do the honor of unveiling the banner?
Thank you. Since there is not yet an elected representative for the class of 2025, President Rowe, we ask that you accept this banner on their behalf.
On behalf of the great class of 2025, I am honored to accept this banner. Mr. President, we would love to see it. Woo! Mr. President, Madam President, thank you very much. We are fortunate tonight to be joined by a pioneering leader in our Commonwealth, a long-standing friend of the university, and an accomplished orator. Justice John Charles Thomas was appointed to the Virginia State Supreme Court in 1983. At the age of 32, he was the first Black justice and the youngest ever judge to be named to the Commonwealth's highest bench. Justice Thomas was appointed to William & Mary's Board of Visitors in 2006 and served until 2017, making him the longest-serving board member in this institution's modern history. In 2018, the Alumni Association inducted him as an honorary alumnus in recognition of his service to this university. Justice Thomas is a talented poet, and he has addressed this community at important university celebrations over the years and is just about to publish his memoirs. Please join me very loudly in welcoming Justice John Charles Thomas.
It is a magnificent joy for us to come here tonight with you on this late summer evening, which is cool, which is better than it might have been in the middle of the day. which is one of the great innovations that we've reached for this time. But the important purpose is to welcome our newest members into one of the great traditions of this magnificent college. To have you walk through the Wren building, which is the oldest academic building still in use in our country, to be greeted by your classmates on the other side, to feel yourself become part of community. And I believe that we have found out in this last year or so that it's hard to feel part of community on the video screen. It's hard to have that light in your face and the camera in your face and those blocks on the screen and feel part of community, because community, it seems to me, in the world that we live in and in the spirit that we have inside ourselves, requires us to be able to look into each other's eyes and to feel each other's presence. And so we are so happy that after all that we have been through, that we have come to this point to get back to something that's more like normal. Another way to describe what we have been through in this last year or so is that we have been tested. But testing is part of life and part of existence. And this is not the first time that you will be tested, and it's surely not the first time that the College of William and Mary has been tested. It is hard to exist within the auspices of 5 different centuries and not be tested. It is hard to be 328 years old and not be tested. As it turns out, that when you study your history courses about this college, if you have not already done so, you will find out that we have been tested the most in times of war. In times of the Revolutionary War, we almost closed. In times of the Civil War, we almost went broke. In time of the World Wars I and II, we almost had no students. Every time we face ourselves up against a war, we seem to be tested sorely. And we are in a war today. The fact that we are in a war against a microorganism makes it no less a war. This thing, this virus, it's not even living tissue. This thing, all it wants to do is to invade us and to say replicate. That's all its purpose in life is, and we have to fight that off. We have to fight that off with skill, and we have to fight it off with judgment, and we have to fight it off with reason. And so we are so happy to bring the new brain power that is in you into this midst, so that as we sit in classes, in policy class, in government class, in chemistry class, in biology class, we can try to figure out the best way to do the things that are required to set us on a better course for dealing with the war that we are in right now. We believe that you will take us to a better place by what you do. We see a world that we live in now that's broken and fragmented and balkanized, and we need your power and your wisdom and your judgment to help us build a better, more united, more brought together, more understanding place. And we believe that the diversity that is in your class, the diversity that is in this college, the diversity that's in your faculty and administrators is going to be part of what helps us do this. Now, some of you may remember from your early days studying in school when the teachers first told you about something called stereoscopic vision. I don't know, when I'm 70 now, I don't know when they teach that now. It used to be in grade school, I think, where they told you that each eye sees the world in a slightly different fashion. The one eye gets one view and the other eye gets the other view, and therefore you have stereoscopic vision, which gives you depth perception. And I have always thought that it's amazing that if we can understand the importance of having people at the table with different worldviews, a woman, a black person, an Indian, an Asian, someone at the table with a different worldview, as we examine problems, we too will have better depth perception of the problems that face us. we too will be able to see deeper into the problems that surround us and confront us. And not only do we believe that a community like this, in a place like this, because you feel this place when you're here, do you not? I've always thought about this place in an ironic kind of way. This was a place that was established by royalty. We are the only college in America that's got, what, a royal charter? But guess what? This is the place that educated the people who kicked the royals out of the United States. And ain't that like biting the hand that feeds you? There's something about the nature of the College of William and Mary that even though it was established by royalty, when it sought out the truth and saw that what the royals was doing was not good for our country and our citizens, we turned on the people who created us. That's an ironic thought to have. Keep it in your head. That's the nature of the College of William and Mary. And so we are minutes away from you walking in here and joining this community in place, in present, with all that you bring to the table. And so we don't want to take a long time regaling you with speeches, but the president told you that I've run into a poet or two in my life, and the poet wants me to tell you that you need to be builders, that we bring you here and embrace you and make you part of this community because we need you to be builders. The poet Longfellow may have been thinking about you back in the 1800s up in Massachusetts when he wrote the poem, The Builders. He must have known a night is going to come in September in Virginia where a powerful new class of students is on its way through the doors of the College of William and Mary, and I got a message for them. You know what his message is for you? He wants me to tell you that all are architects of fate, working in these walls of time, some with massive deeds and great, some with ornaments of rhyme. Nothing useless is or low. Each thing in its place is best, and what seems but idle show strengthens and supports the rest. For the structure that we raise, time is with materials filled. Our todays and yesterdays are the blocks with which we build. Truly shape and fashion these. Leave no yawning gaps between. Think not because no one sees that such things shall remain unseen. In the elder days of art, builders wrought with greatest care each minute and unseen part, for the gods see everywhere. Let us do our work as well, both the unseen and the seen. Make the house where gods may dwell beautiful, entire, and clean, lest our lives are incomplete standing in these walls of time. Broken stairways where the feet stumble as they seek to climb. Build today then strong and sure on a firm and ample base, and ascending and secure shall tomorrow find its place. Thus alone can we attain to those turrets where the eye sees the world as one vast plain and one boundless reach of sky. Classmates at the College of William and Mary in Virginia, all of us here who love you already call on you to be magnificent builders in your whole life and to come back here forever with the things that you build and discover and find. We love you. We embrace you. Come on, walk through the building in a few minutes.
Justice Thomas, thank you for those powerful and true and necessary words. Generations of William and Mary people have sought to change our world for the better. You just called us to that ethos of service. It's on our minds and hearts tonight as we approach the 20th anniversary of the September 11 attacks. And it's important to take a moment to remember those who lost their lives that day. Among our community are many first responders, military and veteran personnel, healthcare workers. Let's thank them for that service. As you listen to those powerful words from Justice Thomas, remember that calls to service have been a core part of this community's response to pandemic. Last year, students and employees completed more than 4,300 service hours. Last year, not last week. But there's more weeks ahead. We can top that number. There are many ways to become involved, and I'm going to make sure that the new students know that the William & Mary Give Pulse website is a good place to start. Take it seriously. We have an incredible legacy to carry forward. With that in mind tonight, we also honor two members of our community for exceptional dedication to service with the President's Awards for service to this community. This is a delight. One award goes to a member of the faculty or staff, and one to a member of the student body. Each receives $500 to donate to service agencies of their choosing. Our staff recipient this year is Kelly Crace. Yeah. I'm looking for where you are, Kelly, and I know you don't want to stand up, but I think you just should wave, okay? He did this, okay? Dr. Crace, as some of you know and others will discover, is Associate Vice President for Health and Wellness and the Director for the Center for Mindfulness and Authentic Excellence at William & Mary. He is the co-author of a book about flourishing and resilience. So timely. Early in the pandemic, Dr. Crace joined a community conversation focused on wellness, and this is what he said. We can hold grief and fear and also hold purpose and healthy self-care. He continues to invite our community into those ideas with curiosity and care. Dr. Crace will donate his award to the National Alliance on Mental Illness in Williamsburg. Kelly Crace, please stand up. Stand up and be recognized. This year's student award is John Cho, class of 2023. Mr. Cho serves as Chief of Staff of the Student Assembly, and I've come to know him as a student government leader, staunchly committed to issues related to health advocacy, to public safety, sustainability, and food insecurity. He is a basic life support instructor for the American Heart Association. I'm not done. He's a substance and alcohol safety sensibility specialist for William & Mary's Health Outreach Peer Educators, an EMS lieutenant, president of the William & Mary Food Recovery Network, and former Student Assembly Secretary of Sustainability. He's also an orientation aide, and I understand his hall is sitting with him today. Is that right? That's great. And Mr. Cho is going to donate his award to the Isle of Wight Volunteer Rescue Squad. Mr. Cho, will you please stand and be recognized? So in just a moment, we're going to participate in one of William & Mary's most cherished traditions. I'm going to give you a few instructions and then one final piece of business. In a moment, the William & Mary Choir will lead us in the alma mater, and if you need a refresher on the words, the lyrics are printed in your program. Sing loudly, all right? I don't know, it's been a little quiet tonight. We got to work on that. After the alma mater, All spring and fall 2020 and spring and fall new students, please stay where you are. The platform party will lead you by cohort through the Wren building. Okay, got it? Everyone else should move swiftly to the other side of the Wren and greet the new members of our community. You have just a few minutes while I'm talking to dash over there. Advancement staff are going to hand out new students' Wren Traditions pins on the other side of the Wren, and there is just one last formal, official, ceremonial thing to do. As president, it is my great privilege to declare that William & Mary's 329th academic year has begun. Choir, take it away. Choir.
Hark the students' voices swelling, strong and true and clear. Alma Mater's love they're telling, ringing far and near. William and Mary, loved of old, hark upon the gale. Hear the thunder of our chorus, Alma Mater hail. God our Father, hear our voices, listen to our cry. Bless the college of our fathers, let her never die. William and Mary, loved of old, hark upon the gale. Hear the thunder of our chorus, Alma Mater hail. William and Mary, loved of old, hark upon the gale. Hear the thunder of our chorus, Alma Mater hail.
All right, it's time. All right, spring 2020, fall 2020, and spring 21 new students. Follow me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming last year's transfers, new grad students, and undergraduate members of the class of 2024. join me in welcoming this fall's newest transfers, grad students, and class of 2025.